what up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm MoedotJ and we're locked in. The finale is here of Power Book 2 Season 2. Now, there was a lot of spoilers being leaked. I didn't want to give anybody any spoilers because this is the finale and we all want to see it in full. So we have it. We know what's going on here. Did Effie get rid of Lauren? Is Tariq going to be able to get out of this? Is Brayden going to take the stand? What is Mecca and Larenz going to do in their war? Is Monet going to get with Mecca and they're going to leave the country? We're going to find out in this finale. But first, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel, you want to be a part of it, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button. It's the easiest thing you can do. Now, I'm not going to carry out this intro. We're going to jump into it. This is the recap for Power Book 2, the season finale of Ghost. The opening scene is Monet and Dante on a yacht. Now, ever since she got kicked out of the house, she's been in the streets. We don't know where she's been staying. She's been having meetings with Dante, meeting up with Cain, meeting up with her other son, Zeke. And now they're on the yacht because we've seen that she's supposed to be coming up with a plan with Mecca and Cain to get rid of Lorenzo. Now, Dante, he's like, let's get up out of here. We know he's been planning this getaway for months. Now, Monet's saying, you need to kill Lorenzo and we need to do it. He's like, nah. Let's have Cain do it so we can establish an alibi unless he ain't 100. And she's like, you might be right about that because what he's doing is manipulating her mind. Like, is Cain really 100? He stole from you. He's been doing all this. So she's like, all right, we're going to have Cain get rid of Lorenzo. This is the scene that I broke down. Tariq, he wakes up because he has to get to court and talk to Davis early. So he's calling Lauren. Whole time Effie is in the bed asleep. We know she came over last night after doing whatever she did with Lauren. Now all he's getting is the voicemail. She's not answering any of the texts. Effie wakes up and says, just leave a voicemail. You don't have to do all that. And I'm sure Lauren, she got out of the town. She's good. She just got rid of her phone. You hear Tariq talking about, well, you know, I just want to make sure she's safe because he doesn't know what's going to come at him. Tate took the stand and covered for him, but still the case isn't over with. So what we're seeing is Effie trying to convince him, hey, it's all good because she hasn't mentioned that she's the one that took Lauren last. Effie looks at Tariq and he's saying, if I go to jail, will you find Lauren for me? And she's looking at him thinking, why are you asking about Lauren when I'm right here? It should be us. Don't worry about her. She's a snitch. But then she asks, do you trust me with finding her? Tariq said, yeah, you're the only person I can trust. Well, it would be easy to trust Effie because we know that she had Lauren last. It's time for court and Davis is telling Tariq, Tate, he gave us some time, but Jenny, she has a new witness and it's going to be your friend Brayden. And Tariq is like, damn. Davis, he's already knowing. Whenever Tariq says damn, there's something going on. So he asks Tariq, what does he know? And he tells him the whole story about how Brayden's brother took the pills and Cain took him to scare him. Now Davis, he's upset. He's like, damn. Sax wants to know, Tariq, where were you at? But if you remember, he was in his room because Sax's niece, Riley, was in there with them. So now Sax is like, damn, we can't bring her in because I'm not good with my family. Davis tells him, it's about the money. If I got to throw you up under the bus in your family, Sax, then so be it. But I'm going to defend my client because throwing them up under the bus is better than losing a case. We win cases around here. You want to make money as a lawyer, you win cases. Now he's telling Tariq, if Trace gets up there and says Cain's name, Cain's coming for you, especially for that get back for putting that badge in your drawer. Tariq tries to call Brayden because he knows that he's about to be a witness, him or his brother. So he calls the phone, and like I said in the breakdown, Brayden is going to be keeping his distance because he's in this trial now. He can't talk. Dante takes Zeke to the hangar and he's showing him all the cars. We already know he's put this plan in play to get his family up out of here. And he told Zeke, look, take some time off from school. I'm going to get you a personal trainer. Now, when he gets in the hangar, he's showing him the cars and he tells Zeke, this car is yours. I'll do anything for you, son. But Zeke wants to know, was Monet really with you the night that Carrie died? And Dante is telling him, look, Monet is going to do whatever she can for you, son. And you see that jet over there? We're leaving tomorrow and there's a spot if you want to come with me. Now, Zeke is incentivized to go. He's going to get cars. He's about to get about the country. Basketball's over. Why not take this opportunity to go with your mom and dad? Monet and Cain meet up. Now, we heard that Dante said we need to have Cain go ahead and kill Lorenzo. Now, when they get here, he's listening. He's like, Ma, I don't know about that. Killing my own dad. I only said that stuff at the house because Mecca, Dante, whoever the hell you call him, I was agreeing with you. Now, she's saying you need to do this. You have Lorenzo's name, so you should be next in line. She's trying to get up under his skin and get in his head to make Cain think you should kill your father. So what does she do? She throws look, I've been the one keeping you out of jail. I'm the one keeping you out here. Also, your dad, he shot at me. Are you going to stand for that? I would have said, well, if he shot at you, you need to go shoot back at him, Ma. He ain't shoot at me. Poppy, we may not be on the best of terms, but he ain't shooting at me now. And she's talking about, look, you need to do that. And don't worry about Drew and Diana. I'm like, I'm not killing my dad, Mom. I'm sorry about that. I'm not doing that. Monet's hitting Kane with all the okie doke. She talking about, damn, where's Tariq at, man? If Tariq was here, he'd do this for me. And Kane, you already know he doesn't like Tariq because he felt like Monet was showing him more love. So she's like, yeah, he killed his own dad. Now Kane is real hype. You mean this pussy dude, he killed his pops? Give me that gun. I'll do it. I don't need Tariq to do anything. Like, come on, man. Kane, you can't be giving in to this. Monet is about Monet. She had a plan that didn't include you. Lorenzo said the organization is going to Drew, but even with Monet, her plan was to follow Zeke. Nothing included you. Think, brother. Kanan just told Tariq a couple of weeks ago, who's pulling the strings? Monet. Jenny calls Brayden to the stand because Trace is under the weather, aka Brayden said, I'll go up there and testify. Now, when he gets up there, Tariq is looking, dog, my boy is about to take the stand. Now, every time Jenny asked him a question, he would say, I know Tariq didn't kill Jabari and Officer Ramirez. He also wasn't selling drugs at our high school or at college. It was me. Now, Jenny is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You hear Davis over there like, Your Honor, objection, this is her witness. Now, what Brayden does, it says, I'm the president, of course, correct. And he brings out the paperwork that he signed. You remember when they started that business for $30,000? So now everything looked like it's going to be dismissed. Brayden didn't snitch on anybody. He told on himself to get Tariq out of trouble. Well, the good news is the case is dismissed. We looked over at the jury. Juror number 6 isn't there, but the judge is saying everything you're doing it's all off. You brought enough evidence. We didn't already extended this trial. Jenny is dismissed. He tells the jurors, go ahead and go home. Tariq is off thanks to Brayden. My boy Sack said, to hell with this case. He goes over to try to holler at Jenny. You know, I was just thinking after this, she like, nope. Damn, Sax, that relationship is over with. He got to play it off. Because you know somebody seen like, hey, what did he try to get at Jenny? You remember seeing Sax in the courtroom? Davis and Tariq, they meet up to celebrate this miraculous victory. Now, when they get in here, Tariq is thinking about, how can I adopt my sister? Everything is done now. But Davis is telling him, Jenny's not going to let this slide like this. Not King James St. Patrick's son, Tariq St. Patrick. No, no, no. But Tariq is saying, I got to do this. And he's also saying he wants a refund from Davis. Now, we know Davis is about money. And the reason he wants a refund is because he said that Brayden is the one that got him off of the stand. Davis, you said you want a what? A refund? You got your rabbit ass mind. So Davis tells Tariq, go file a complaint. But that would mean that you would have to admit that you and Kane had something to do with Jabari's murder. Yeah. So he knows Tariq is not going to go tell on him because he's trying to get that refund out of him, all that millions of dollars that he paid Davis. So Davis says, look, after you finish school, you'll get that money from your dad. Then you go get your sister. Tariq is saying, no, I'm not built like James St. Patrick. But Tariq wants to get his sister. You can't stop a man that wants to do that. Tariq tells him, nah, I can't be no lawyer. You know there's no such thing as a decent lawyer before he leaves. Now Davis calls Kane and lets him know, hey, good news. The trial is over with. Because you know they've been paying him money to get information if their name ever gets brought up. So Davis just completing his financial transaction with the Tejadas. Jenny just lost a huge case against Tariq, and we heard Davis tell Tariq that she's not going to let up with this. So she goes to a bar and it turns out Sax is there. Now they sit down and they start talking and she's crying because she just found out that Lauren was killed last night in a car wreck. No license plates, but a bag full of money. So it seems that Effie actually went through with it. Now, Sax, he's hearing this and he's saying, I understand what you're going through, because she's mentioning Carrie told her about this. Carrie said that she was going to take the stand. She committed suicide. Doesn't it look a little suspicious? Now, Sax, he goes into the spiel about where he is about to kill himself, but instead he took that gun to go kill James. But when he got there, he seen Tariq in there. But he's telling Jenny right now, any other time I would throw Tariq up under the bus, but he had an ankle monitor on. And if you keep pursuing this kid and he gets off again, your career is going to be over. And Jenny is saying, see what you're doing, Sax? You're walking away. That's why it can never be you and me. Tariq got a message from Monet to meet up with her. Now they meet up in a disclosed location and she's like, it's good you kept that white boy around talking about Brayden. But forget all that small talk. Let's get into it. She's saying, Mecca, we need to kill him. I knew him back in the day, and I didn't know him for who he really was. He changed his name. Now, Tariq brings up that bag and saying, yeah, it had his son in there. You talking about Dante Spears? She's like, what? How you know this? And he's like, well, there's a ring in there and a tracking device. But also inside that bag was some paperwork showing that he's a federal informant. Monet's like, what? He's a snitch? Now she's upset and she wants to kill Mecca. She also wants to protect Lorenzo because Mecca thinks that Lorenzo is the one that stole the work. Now she tells Tariq, this kid that just got off of a double homicide, I need you to help Kane come up with a plan to kill Mecca, but keep him alive long enough that I can kill him. What kind of plan are we gonna come up with? We 18, 19 years old. Come on, man. We barely got off of this case if it wasn't for Brayden. And also, Tariq says, well, look, we need to keep him alive long enough that I can get the $1 million so I can get up out the game. $2 million to be exact, Monet. Monet goes straight to Lorenzo because we need to get rid of Mecca. Now, Lorenzo's in here. He got the money from all the drugs they stole from Mecca to go pay Mecca, but he didn't know that these drugs were stolen from Mecca. Now, McVeigh is one of Mecca's people, and he's the one that's going to take the money. Carlito's in here also, and Monet says, we need to get rid of Mecca. He's been playing us. Those drugs were his. So now everything's coming full circle. Lorenzo wants to get rid of Mecca. But the only problem is they want to get rid of Lorenzo, and Kane has to come up with a plan with Tariq to get rid of Mecca. Now, not only does Monet want to kill Mecca, Lorenzo wants to kill Mecca, Kane has to try to kill Mecca, but they need to keep him alive long enough that Tariq can get this $2 million. Man, what a story. Lorenzo goes home and he has to tell Drew and Diana, look, all the stuff we got with Monet, those little family issues, we need to put them aside so we can protect the family. Diana's like, man, we can really trust Ma? And not only that, what if the plan doesn't work? So at least somebody in this family is actually thinking things through. Now, Lorenzo's saying, La Familia, we got to protect the family. Drew says, I'm in. And look at Diana's face. She's like, I don't know about this plan. Trusting Monet? Tariq comes back to the dorm room after taking off that awful ankle monitor. Now we see Brayden packing up his stuff over here, and he's like, look, my dad's pulling me out of school. I got to go sit at the house in a hedge fund cubicle. Now he's asking Tariq, when did you pull the stuff out of course correct? And he's like, I didn't do it. And when was the last time my QR code was used? Brayden says, oh, the last 2 times. Now Tariq is starting to put 2 and 2 together. Diana swiped his card to go up there and take everything out. Now he's also telling Brayden, look, I'm out the game, because Brayden's saying we got a lot of publicity on course correct. He said, nah, man, I'm done with the game. I'm going to take care of Yaz. Brayden still wants to be in the game, even though he's getting pulled out of school. And in comes Kane. Kane comes in and you see him talking to Brayden, asking him, did you take care of everything? You held it down on the stand, but did you take care of everything? He told Brayden to kill Lauren. Now, we heard that Lauren allegedly died in a car wreck with Effie. Now, Brayden told Tariq, oh yeah, she got out of here. It was perfectly fine. She drove off without me. That's why Brayden leaves without trying to make eye contact with Kane, because he didn't mention that he did that. Now, the plan between Tariq and Kane to get rid of Lorenzo, they're talking about it. Tariq forwarded the calls on that tracker phone, so if Mecca tries to trace him down, it'll still ping on his regular phone. Now he's telling Kane, are you ready for this? Kane talking about, yeah, man, do you know who I am? Tariq said, man, you ain't built for this. I know you ain't ready for it. But if you kill your dad, there's no coming back from this. But all these plans are messed up because Monet hasn't told Kane anything about getting rid of Mecca, only getting rid of Lorenzo. That's why I said Monet and Kane together. These two, they'll never get anything correct. Zeke goes down to the police station to talk to our favorite white detective. And he comes in there, Professor Milgram. And the detective is saying that there's something you want to say, because right now you can see that Zeke, he's kind of worried about her committing suicide and not really believing that Monet didn't have anything to do with it, because he sensed that she was lying and Dante stood up for her. Now the detective is saying, Zeke, you found the body. The medical examiner said that it's a suicide. So that's all we can go with unless you have something. Now Zeke was just coming in here to get confirmation, but you can tell by the look on his face, he's still not too sure if he can believe it was a suicide or not. Mr. Weston. Now he's meeting up with Steven, and we know that Steven just got the picture last week from Mr. Tate of the blackface. Now he looks over and Tate comes and sits down. The plan is in fact, instead of getting the other congressman out, you're actually going to step down. And he's like, man, I survived the Me Too, and you're going to let this arrogant, and you hear Tate say, nigga, that's going to take your spot. Yeah, that's what you wanted to say. So at first he was doing the tough talk, saying, go ahead and publish the photo. But when Tate broke it down for him and said in 6 months, no, they're still going to remember this, and they're going to be on your case. So you need to take some time off, and then, I'll fill in from there. Now he's telling Steven, are you okay with this? And he's like, man, I'd rather roll with Tate so we can stop all these headlines of blackface than to roll with you and then it all come out and the DMC starts to crumble. So Tate, he's doing his job. Rashad Tate, look at him. Cheers to the good life. Trust. Who can you depend on? Mecca or Dante, whatever one you want to call him, is meeting up with Kane. And he's telling them we need to go ahead and get rid of Lorenzo. Everything that he's doing is messing up things. Now Kane is saying, you lied to me. I don't know if how can I trust you that we can go through with this when you're Zeke's dad? He's like, oh man, don't worry about that. Now everybody's plans are starting to get mixed up because you hear Kane say, what we need to do is get rid of Tariq. Now the reason Mecca doesn't jump on that idea, even though he does think that Tariq overstayed his welcome, is because he needs to get that bag back that has all of his paperwork along with that ring, even though Davis has the ring and everybody's starting to find out that he's a snitch. So he's saying, all right, we'll do that in due time. But in comes Monet asking, what are y'all talking about? Now she tells him that Zeke isn't coming, Drew and Diana isn't coming. So he's like, man, what the hell? So now they really have to get rid of Lorenzo. But that was the plan initially, to get rid of Lorenzo. But Kane, he just changed it up. Like, let's get rid of Tariq. It's probably because Tariq just talked bad to him in that room. And he wants to prove to his mom and everyone else, I don't need Tariq. I can do this. Tariq gets a call from Mecca on that forwarded phone telling them, meet me at the hangar tomorrow. I'm going to have your money for you. Tariq is like, all right. Now he's meeting up with his lawyer because he wants to talk about getting Yaz. But he tells him that Sax wants to talk to him about something. Now when Sax gets here, he tells him that Lauren Baldwin is dead. She died in a car wreck. It looked like an accident. Now Tariq, he heard that she left Brayden, so he's not going to connect anything to Brayden. He's just going to think she drove off and she died. Now Sax is looking at him like, Tariq, if you know anything, let me know. But he's like, I'm gonna walk off. And the reason Sax wants this is because he can go to Jenny and tell her what really happened so he can get back in her good graces and get him some. Sax heads back to talk to Davis about everything that's going on. And he's like, did you let Kane hear the recording also? I know Tariq heard it, but come on, did you do this? Because Carrie, she's dead. You said she wasn't the type to commit suicide. Lauren, she's dead. And both of them had something to do with the wire. Now Davis is saying, I cared for Carrie. I would never do nothing like that to harm her. And then he tells Sax, look, don't get on me for accepting money from Kane Tejada. You framed James St. Patrick for murder. We're the same. We're both here trying to survive. Now Sax, he's trying to be righteous and throw all this around. Davis is seeing straight through it. He's like, you can't connect me to any of that. We know how you get down too. Before Sax leave, Davis asked him about a case that he threw to him. Theo Rollins. You remember the name Theo? That's actually Davis's brother. Now, Sax says, unlike Tariq, he's innocent. The guy that committed the manslaughter was 4 inches taller. So Davis is saying, if he's innocent, why is he still in jail? Sax is like, I'm working on it. And of course, look at Davis's face. You need to work harder. That's his brother, man. He also tells him that this Theo Rollins case is the most important at the firm. And he's actually putting trust in Sax to get this done. Now Sax is thinking, why is this the most important? It's just a manslaughter. It's not bigger than a double homicide against a cop. Tariq is going through it right now. He just found out that Lauren is dead. He lost his mom. He lost Raina. He's potentially about to lose Yaz. All he has left is Effie. And he's saying, it's just hard, man. Everybody around me, they either come up missing. I just don't know what's coming, And Effie, she's sitting there. And we know that Effie is the one that set Lauren up. Now, I'm just taking it that Lauren is really dead. Since everyone's hearing this information, it was a car wreck with some money involved, no license plates. That means it had to be official, especially if it got to Jenny. Now, Effie, she's saying, don't be like that. I'm still here. I fuck with you. But Tariq really ain't trying to hear that because his love interest was Lauren. And Effie, she didn't like that and she noticed it. We finally see Tasha St. Patrick, or should I say Vanessa Edwards, because she has an alias. She's under protective custody right now. She has a whole new identity living out in the woods. She's over here thinking, she sees a picture of her and her kids, and All of a sudden, there's a car driving up. Now she gets a little nervous. She hides and she texts a person, Marshall Smith. Are you in the driveway? They like, no, grab the bag and go. Now Vanessa, she's making a lot of noise here. She grabs a gun and she's running around, but you hear special delivery for Vanessa Edwards. Turns out it's Tamika and the police, the AKA the marshal, and she's like, oh, is something wrong? Because of course she's thinking something may have happened to Tariq if Tamika's involved with it, because she's been closely dealing with Tariq, even though she told Tariq the last time she seen her, don't hit her up. But it turns out she actually brought Yaz. Well, Tamika came through and actually she brought Olivia with her. She is no longer Yaz, it's Olivia Edwards. Now she gives a little spiel of when she was born in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Now you hear Vanessa, aka Tasha, mention Tariq's name, and Tamika says, you know you can't mention that name, and whoever he is, he can't come out here. You two should move forward with your lives. You can start fresh here and everything should be good for you, but don't ever reach out to that guy that you just mentioned. Now it turns out Tariq is in one of these Suburbans and he's looking, but the deal is they can't see you. Now he starts asking Sax about Adante Spears. And Sax is like, oh yeah, Lobos, Jimenez, your dad and Angela. Yeah, he got into so much bad blood here. Dante's not even supposed to be here. Now Tariq is like, damn, that's what I thought. So he's starting to piece everything together. And Sax, he's even thinking, how do you know him? But you know, it's Tariq, so he's probably thinking he done found out something from Davis. The plan is in place. Tariq is meeting up with Drew, and Drew has an identical bag to the one that Mecca had. Now the plan is they have the fake bag, so Mecca's got to follow him. All of his muscle, his soldiers, they're going to follow them, and these are going to be the fake bags. This is to spread him thin, and then Diana's going to get the real bag. And once Tariq gets the real bag from Diana, you know, where they stole the drugs from, Drew apologizes about that. Tariq's like, I don't really care. We need to get back on this plan. But he's going to take the real bag to Mecca in the warehouse so he can get his $2 million. And this will allow Monet to finally kill Mecca. Now, this plan sounds like it's going to be good. Me personally, I wouldn't have done it. I'd have to meet Mecca in an open location just in case he tries to kill me as soon as I give him the bag and he gave me that $2 million. That's just me. Drew drops the bag off with his dad, Lorenzo, so he can go do his part of the plan. Now, Drew does have a gun. It's in the glove department. But what he tells Diana is, don't even try. Promise me you won't look in the bag, because he doesn't want them to look in there, because if she ever gets called to the stand, you know what I'm saying, plausible deniability. If you never looked in there, you can say, I don't know what was in there, I just carried it. But if she looks in there, she would have to testify. Now Diana, she's saying, okay, mind you, this is a plan to get rid of Mecca. We're about to be moving around the city, and she got on a Fendi jacket. Now Drew's getting a text from Everett talking about meet me before practice. It's an emergency. He talking about, okay, see you tonight. Drew, you ain't got no damn time for this. Get focused, man. Now it looks like this may be Carlito, and he's watching, saying something is up. And he's calling McVeigh. This is one of Mecca's soldiers. He's saying, you follow Lorenzo? I'm gonna follow his son Drew. Something seems suspicious. Zeke goes back to talk to Detective Kevin, and he finds out that there's photos of Monet being right around the corner from Carrie's house. I told you he already felt suspicious about it when he asked Dante, did Monet have anything to do with Carrie's death? Now, he's seeing this and he's like, she wasn't at Dante's house. She was actually over by Carrie's. He makes up a lie and says, no, she was coming to pick me up. But then I decided not to have Monet pick me up, and I went over to Carrie's house, and that's when I seen her dead. Now, the detective is saying, if that's all you can do for Carrie, then thanks for your cooperation. But Zeke's thinking Monet has something to do with this death, just like we were all suspecting. There's no way Carrie was going to do this on her own. Monet had to go over there and probably persuade her to do it, or had a gun. Now, Zeke gets his big ass in this Porsche that his father gave him, and he's starting to cry because he put two and two together, and Monet was actually there before Carrie allegedly committed suicide. So, of course, he's going to cry. Tariq and Kane, they pull up to the warehouse because they're waiting on the drop. Now, Mecca, he starts talking to him. He's like, yeah, man, ain't you banging Effie? She bad. Tariq talking about, man, hey, keep your eyes off of her. But what you know about Lauren? He's like, man, who cares about that? But then he starts asking Tariq more questions, and Tariq's asking him, why are you always worried about me, man? You need to be focused on what we're about to do. You supposed to be out here riding, but you worried about what I'm doing. Plus, they pulled up, man. Let's get focused. Tariq and Kane, they sneak in the warehouse. They see the exchange going down. Tariq, you can tell he's kind of nervous, but he really wants to know what the hell is Kane over there doing. He down there ducking. If you remember on the wood when the grocery store was getting robbed and he was back there shaking up the can, he was nervous. That's what Kane looking like over here. I told you, Kane over here nervous. He get up, he draw that fire. He starts shaking a little bit. He's aiming at his father. And you hear Tariq saying, Kane, stop. He knows we're here. Now, McVeigh, he's looking at that bag a little bit, and he's like, hey, man, worker number 7, come here real quick. Go check that bag. It looks a little suspicious. Now, they're having a full discussion, what should have been talked about inside of the vehicle. They in here, they whispering, hey, we're not killing Lorenzo. We just did that to make Mecca think that. Lorenzo, he's over here getting ready to shoot the place up. Kane over here breathing all hard, talking about Monet lied to me. You and Zeke, y'all worry about the wrong thing. You need to get focused. We about to kill Mecca's people. Random thug number 7 picks up the bag and he's like, man, this ain't Mecca's. This is a setup. You see Lorenzo, he pulled that fire out. I'm talking about laying everybody down. Headshots, it is on. Random thug number 4, he got hit in the back. Kane shot him. Random thug number 9 right here. He turning around. He just shooting. He don't know what's going on. He just knows there's some gunshots going on back here. I'm turning and I'm firing. Tariq just got off of a double homicide. His ankle monitor off. He just flew out to see his mom. Now he's back in action. He talking about pop, pop, pop. Shoots random thug number 9. McVeigh comes around the corner with his automatic rifle. I'm talking about misses everything. Already got to reload the clip. Like, hey, just stay where you got it from. Shoot over the vehicle. You running into the action and you ain't hitting nothing. You ain't really prepared for this. Mecca did not train these people like he should have. We seen him in the hangar. GTG ran him over. Now you're getting beat by 3 people. Tariq, Kane, and Lorenzo. I know Mecca is upset. Mecca chases McVeigh down, puts a couple in his back, puts that hot ass pistol in the back of his pants. Lorenzo, Kane, and Tariq, they meet up and they're talking. And Tariq's like, hey man, you stole my drugs. Lorenzo's saying, man, you had that coming for a while. He's like, dang, Dad, what's going on? He's like, Kane, not right now. Now, he's like, all right, we got to go get Drew. Tariq saying, I got to go get Diana because she got the real bag. Kane is like, what? No one told me the real plan. He thought he was going to kill his dad. Come to find out, this was only to use Mecca. Now he finds out that his sister's in on it too. Oh, come on. Y'all don't tell me nothing. It's a cold world. Tariq leaves to get Diana. Lorenzo goes over to McVeigh's body and he gets his phone. And just like how they opened up Tariq's phone, they used the facial recognition. And in the text message, BSK is on our side. They're on Drew. I'm on Lorenzo. Now you remember BSK was Carlito and Keno and them. Mecca sent the text, said, text me when it's done. Now Lorenzo is real upset because everybody's working behind his back. Mecca gets on the phone and he makes a call to whoever is his senior. Meaning he's a criminal informant. He has to report back to somebody. And he's saying my cover has been compromised. I thought you should know. Mecca goes over and asks Monet, hey, where's Kane at? It should be done by now. Text Tariq, you know what I'm saying? We got to figure out something. So she's like, all right, I'll text Tariq right now. She tells Tariq a change of plans. But when she looks in her purse, she sees a pistol. A little revolver. Drew goes to meet up with Everett for this emergency before basketball practice. Come to find out the emergency is, hey, did you use my card and go into an unauthorized place using it? Drew's like, nah, I wouldn't do that. Everett's like, man, this is an emergency, bro. Like, did you use my key card? All he has going for him is school. He's supposed to be doing his job, and that's playing basketball and going to school. So this is an emergency. And Drew's like, we'll just talk about it later. You're late for practice. The whole time, Carlito has been following Drew. Now, he gets out the car and he tries to dap up Drew. I don't know why he doesn't have the gun on him. But instead of dapping him up, he punches him. And they start going through the bag to see what's actually in it. But you remember, they gave the real bag to nobody. Lorenzo got one bag. The real bag's upstairs where the drugs are that Diana's supposed to get. Now, Drew on the ground. BSK, they stabbed us in the back. Carlito want to know where the real bag is, Drew. Because the way your dad got rid of Keno, that was kind of dirty. Now, he pulls a gun out on Drew. And he's telling you either tell me or this is the end of you. But guess who comes and saves the day? Kane does. They knock the gun down. Now, Carlito, he's trying to crawl away. Drew picks up the gun. And just like in Boys in the Hood, he kicks Carlito in the butt and tells him to turn your punk ass over. But Kane comes over. He's like, no, not here, man. You know what I'm saying? We can't do it. We on school grounds again? Come on now. But Drew is upset. Kane says, let's put him in the trunk and take him to Pops so he can make an example out of him. Now, Carlito tries to spit on him. Drew ducks that, takes that pistol, and comes across his face. Let's put him in the trunk. Lorenzo's back at the house, and he's talking to Diana because she had the real bag, and he's asking her, did she look in there? And she's saying, am I the only untrustworthy person here? But Diana actually looked in there. Now, she's saying, everyone thinks I'm a snitch. And he's saying, no daughter of mine is a snitch. But when she looked in there, she seen bank accounts for Kane, Drew, Zeke, and her. Now, Lorenzo was hearing all of this, and he's like, you know what? Stay in the house. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back. I got something to handle. Tariq shows up to Mecca's penthouse. Now, he's downstairs, and he's telling the front desk, I need to go upstairs. We see Dante looking at it. He's looking like, this kid Tariq, something don't sit right with me. While he's letting Tariq up, he turns around, and Nene got that gun on him. It's over with, Mecca. It's over with. Now, he's talking about you betrayed me. Man, you betrayed everybody, Dante, or should I say Mecca. Nene got that firm grip on this revolver. He talking about we the same way. You lied to me. You stole my product. We're meant for each other. You lied to Zeke. You killed his girlfriend. He trying to talk his way up out of this. Me personally, I think I could dodge if Monet had that thing on me. But Mecca ain't built like me. He wants to do anything he can to get Nene back. Lorenzo told Diana to stay in the house. He'll be back. And he heads to the hangar because Monet wants to kill Mecca, but so does Lorenzo, especially after all of this. He heard there's bank accounts. Forget Monet's plan. I'm going to the hangar to do this myself. Now, Zeke showed up in his car and he parked it right on the runway behind the jet. He didn't even take it in the garage. He said, I'm getting on this plane. Forget all the BS. I'm flying up out of here. Lorenzo thinks it's Mecca and he starts firing, hitting him in the back. You see the pilot up front ducking like, man, what the hell? Got bullet holes all on the side of the thing. You hear Zeke talking about, ah! Damn, Zeke with them big ass Air Forces on. Back at the penthouse, Monet's talking about F it. Zeke could get over it and you see her pull the trigger. Now Tariq is on the elevator and he's going up. This has to be a loud ass revolver. Either that or Tariq is at that floor. She's telling Tariq as soon as he get off, she had no choice but to put Mecca down. He figured everything out. He was going to shoot Tariq as soon as he got up there. Now Tariq is in this spot. He just had a shootout, just got off of a double homicide, got in a shootout, and now he's here, an accomplice to another murder, a criminal informant at that. Monet says, you kept your word, Tariq, you're out the game. And Tariq is saying, well, I'm not going to get my $2 million from him. I told you he needed to stay alive so I can get that money, and you don't have no connect. So it looks like we in this together because he still needs to come up with some bread. Now you hear everybody, what happened? One guy came out of nowhere. He ran over there. Now Lorenzo went over there and he looked in the car and he didn't see anything. So, man, he didn't kill Zeke. Zeke's father is dead. Damn. Everybody's meeting back up at the house. Kane, he just came downstairs. You know he got Carlito with him. Lorenzo, he getting back. Oh, yeah, you're here? But he went to go kill Mecca, but he may not kill Mecca because Monet killed Mecca. Let's see. Now on the news, breaking news, mysterious murder in Midtown. Dante Spears, international transportation man, killed in his high rise. Now they show Lorenzo, he's like, wait a minute. If he died in a high rise, who the hell did I kill trying to get into that plane? They over here, dang, you did it, Ma. And the first thing she wants to know is, did anybody hear from Zeke? Everybody's like, nah. You know, Lorenzo's over there like, well, you know, I didn't really talk to him. I didn't know the kid like that. Guess who shows up to the crime scene? Agent Blanca. She's back. She's telling Dante, even though he's dead, you called me a little late, Dante. So Dante was her criminal informant. That's why she knew so much with James St. Patrick and everything that was going on with Lobos. She had a personal connection with the criminal informant. Now they have some photos. They're a little bit grainy from the front desk. And she's looking at it and she can kind of make it out. Tariq St. Patrick? We meet again. Now, you know Blanca's been having it out for Tariq and his daddy for the longest. But now she's about to go even harder. So season 3, Tariq, you better be on the run, bro. Davis goes to talk to his brother Theo. And Theo is saying, I talked to the doctor and it's not looking good, little bro. Now Davis is saying, shit, little bro, I'm at least 4 inches taller than you. Now Theo is saying, look, don't push that white guy too hard because I'd rather die in here than you take my place. And what he's hinting at is, Sack said Theo was innocent because the guy that committed that manslaughter was 4 inches taller. So it looks like Theo may have took the rap for his brother Davis. Davis goes back to Jenny's house and he says, I think Davis is working for the Tejadas, but I'll help you to try to figure out what happened with Lauren. Now, if they find out that I'm informing you information on this, he's as good as dead. So it looks like Saxe going into season 3 is going to convert back over to trying to be good in flushing out Davis and the St. Patrick's and the Tejadas. The Tate brothers, they're talking, and Kamal's trying to tell his brother Rashad, just because he's about to step down doesn't mean you step in. You still got to run and win that. Rashad's saying, I'm going to run and I'm going to win, but I also want you to be head of my security just to, pay you back for what I did on the stand. Now, Kamal's like, work for you? Do you think I'm stupid? And Tate's talking about, is that a yes? So that could be leading over to book 5. Tate and his brother. Tariq and Effie, they're back on good terms until Tariq finds out that Effie is the one that got rid of Lauren, but he's trying to convince her to come down to Stansfield. They got a good robotics program. She's like, I might think about it. Tariq sent an anonymous letter to his mom and Yaz talking about it's going to take some money and power, but I'm going to do everything I can to get back with you two. And you see her looking over at the empty chair. That's where Tariq is supposed to sit. The same thing for Monet. She hasn't heard back from Zeke. The chair is empty, but she ends up getting a phone call. It's Detective Kevin, and he's just letting Monet know that Ezekiel Cross is dead. There you go, the season finale for Power Book 2. Let me know, do you think that Zeke should have went out like that? Damn, that's a sad way to go out. He just wanted a better life because his mom lied to him his whole life. Also, what do you think about Davis and his brother Theo moving forward? Do you think that Saxe is going to actually help get his brother out, or is he going to try to bring down Davis from the inside? Let me know what you guys think. I'm MoedotJ. Make sure you tune in Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the live show, after show discussion. Man, it's going to be a good one. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.